Tonight on MediaPlex News Now, aspiring Olympians take flight here at home. There are surprises in store as we celebrate Chinese New Year and the Year of the Dog. Punch keys sell fast. All this and more on MediaPlex News Now. I'm Shubhangana Vishwanathan. Thanks for joining us this evening. It's Fat Tuesday, celebrated before the beginning of Lent in Western Christianity. Fat Tuesday is the day to eat pancakes and punchkis. In olden times, Fat Tuesday was a day when the households used up their sugar and lard. Local places like Black's Bakery had lineups out the door to get some of their famous donut-like pastries.
This was $55.
And would you say it's worth it?
Well, I haven't got to my car yet to try one, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be worth every cent.
Since we are talking about punchkis and you have probably had few treats today, let's hear from David Lefrenier about how many calories each one has.
So your health tip on the Health Minute today, everything in moderation, including excess. And today is a day for excess. I'm standing here on Erie Street at Italia Sports Cafe with Danielle Tortero, owner of Lakeside Bakery in Leamington. She's here today pushing punchkis. Danielle, can you tell me about the punchkis?
Yes, of course. So our punchki donuts are a Fat Tuesday tradition where everybody from their homes would rid their homes of sugar, eggs, lard, and create these fabulous indulgent donuts because the day after was the beginning of the 40-day fast for the Lenten tradition leading up to Easter.
Danielle, can you tell me just roughly how many calories do you think are in a punchki?
One punchki donut is about 500 calories.
500 calories. So just for comparison, what we have here is a box of Timbits, a 10-pack. They're strawberry filled, basically mini punchkis. This box of 10 is 450 calories. Reporting from Italia Sports Cafe on Erie Street for MNN News, I'm David Lefrenier.
After our figure skating team won a gold medal and our speed skater Ted Jan Bloemen made it to the podium, everyone's wondering who will be the next generation of Olympians on the ice. Xandra Cayley takes a look at one promising young athlete.
With the Pyeongchang Olympics underway in South Korea, it's always important to meet the young athletes training to be on the Olympic stage. 12-year-old Jake Ellis of Essex, who is part of the South Windsor Skating Club, recently won several awards for his skating ability in Montreal.
It was an all-of-Canada competition, age divisions 10 to 16. I competed 2 programs. I was second in the short program and third in the long and third overall.
But great skaters also need great coaches, and for 7 years, Laurie Lafferté-Villeneuve has been one of them.
Jake has a unique quality in that he is very coordinated from the sport perspective, but he also is very artsy and very musical from the art side of our sport.
But building all that skill takes lots of time and lots of patience.
I skate 4 to 5 days a week, maybe about 6 hours a week. I definitely want to make it to the Olympics. A medal would be great.
Ellis will continue to train in hopes of being on the Olympic stage one day. For MediaPlex News, I'm Xander Kelly.
Does our last story have you wondering how you can learn to skate? Reporter Angelica Haggert tells you a way right here in Windsor.
Churches are usually warm and welcoming places, but at All Saints Church in downtown Windsor, it's all about the ice. Ice skates, that is.
The church has been lending out skates for 15 years, with volunteers on hand every Saturday morning, just waiting for people to stop by.
We're giving a lot of people a chance to skate who've never had a chance before. We think that we're giving them a healthy pastime for a lifetime.
To borrow skates, all you have to do is show up.
On a Saturday morning between 10 and 12, sit down and let us take your shoe off and we'll size you up and out you go.
Teachers can arrange to borrow hundreds of pairs to take their classes on field trips. After just one trip to the rink, some teachers are already planning for next year.
As one kid said, best field trip ever. It was every kid learned to skate. Kids with special needs learned to skate. They were positive. There was that growth mindset, not giving up. it was the perfect field trip.
Rinkside, a handful of volunteers are on the ice to inspire the next generation of potential Olympians.
This is the most rewarding thing I do all year. This is when it's a nice day and there's 50 kids on the ice and 50 sets of parents, and you could the love in the air is palatable. It's something else.
In downtown Windsor, Charles Clark Square and All Saints Church make the perfect pair. The rink here is free for anyone to come and skate on and is open, weather permitting, from December until March.
Weather specialist Torsha Valtazen is standing by. What is it like out there, Torsha?
Thanks, Shubhangana. Luckily, today will be far from last Tuesday's -16 temperatures. Today is a -4 and a mix of sun and clouds. Overnight will be mostly clear skies and -5. I'll be back with your 3-day weather forecast later in the show.
We all think of New Year as being January 1st, but this Friday is Chinese New Year. David Lafreniere tells us more about what's special for this weekend.
Young kids look forward to this envelope. Why? Because it has lucky money in it. My kids will be looking forward to this come February 16th, the year of the dog.
We should celebrate. That's a new beginning and the new start of another year. Year, or in Chinese, Nian, is supposed to be a very scary creature, a monster. At that moment, they said the god sent this one down to to see whether anybody is not behaving well. And the people just say, okay, we need to get some way to drive it out. So we often have the fireworks. We have all kinds of activities. We have red, the duilian, all these very nice written characters. Just because they're red, so that means lucky, and they can drive the evil away. So the Nian will be driven away because of all kinds of celebration.
All these books are put the candy inside. That means if you eat candy all the year, you will become sweet and you will become a lucky more. So that's perfect. Happy New Year to everybody.
Reporting for Multifood on Crawford near Wyandotte. Happy Year of the Dog. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm David Lafreniere.
Amherstburg Community Service is losing one of their accessible buses, meaning many residents will have to find a new way around. Laurie Harrison reports.
The program is called CareLink Health Transit, with more than 1,000 clients in Amherstburg Community Center's database, some using the transit service daily. Losing just one of their 2 fully accessible transit buses from their aging fleet is a significant loss.
Well, we had 2 buses, and one of them we had to remove from the road due to aging, and then the repairs were too costly.
The agency is looking to the public to help them raise $70,000 for a new bus.
We are currently selling 50/50 tickets till February 21st, and on that day also we are having a Super Wednesday. We have 13 restaurants that will be at the Knights of Columbus in Amherstburg.
Amherstburg Community Services have been providing resources to their community since the late 70s. They offer more than 20 services catering to many demographics, but their main programs, Meals on Wheels, accessible transportation, friendly visits, and security calls are geared towards seniors and those with mobility issues.
The biggest benefit is it helps them get to their medical appointments, helps them to fight, also isolation. And when they feel like they're a part of a community or somebody is caring for them, then they're more apt to take care of themselves health-wise.
On a day like this, and any other day during the year, the transit services offered through the Amherstburg Community Center are crucial to the clients who use them.
I don't think I'd be able to function without them. It's a combined benefit that keeps me mobile. I see friends, I can visit, I can go to Windsor. I'm very independent and I don't like depending on other people. It's imposing, I feel. So as long as I can do it with the caravan, I call it the caravan, then I would be very grateful.
Whether we're bringing you to an appointment or we're bringing you to have lunch and just have some social time out, I think it's very important, to show seniors that they are very active and still connected to their community.
For more information on their fundraisers, you can visit their Facebook page, Amherstburg Community Services. For MediaPlex News, I'm Laurie Harrison.
Across the world in Pyeongchang, a collection of the world's best athletes are competing for gold medals. Angelica Haggert gives us an update on Canada's medal and what events are coming up next.
Canada's sitting in 3rd place in the medal standings today, just behind Norway and the Netherlands. We've racked up an impressive 3 gold, 4 silver, and 4 bronze medals for a total of 10. Our gold medal in mixed doubles curling came early this morning, as the duo of Caitlin Laws and John Morris beat Switzerland 10-3. As a brand new event, Canada can now boast that we are the only winner in mixed doubles curling. Speed skater Kim Boughton has earned a bronze for Canada in the 500-meter short track women's event. The photo finish for gold resulted in a disqualification, which bumped Boughton onto the podium. Boughton races for Canada again later this week in the 1,000, 1,500, and team relay events. Alex Go won a bronze medal in women's luge after a spectacular 4 runs. Go becomes the first Canadian to win a singles luge medal. The medal is especially triumphant for Go after her team unexpectedly both gained and lost the bronze in the team luge relay at the Sochi Olympics after the Russian team was stripped of their medal. This was ultimately overturned and the bronze was returned to the Russians. Kimberly McRae came in 5th and Brooke Apskrum came in 13th for an overall excellent showing in the women's individual luge events. But we can't forget about what we've won so far. Canada has already won medals in 5,000-meter men's speed skate, team figure skating, men's and women's moguls, and men's and women's slopestyle snowboard events. Later tonight, Olympic events continue. Our men's curling team takes to the rings in the first round-robin match against Italy. Tomorrow morning, our women's team faces off against Great Britain. Also this evening, ladies slalom alpine ski events are at 8:15 p.m. with the medal round at 11:45. There are 3 Canadian women competing. At 8 p.m. tonight, the pairs short skate program begins, with 3 Canadian duos going for gold. The women's 15-kilometer biathlon is tomorrow morning, although all eyes are waiting for the unique mass start biathlon events, which start on February 17th. On the women's hockey side, Canada defeated Finland 4-1 yesterday and take on the U.S. team tomorrow just after 10 p.m. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you've been staying up late and getting up early to watch some of these historic Olympic moments be made. Check back tomorrow for another Olympic update with me, Angelica Haggert.
February is Black History Month. Windsor Essex has strong ties to things like Underground Railroad. Mariam Farag tells us more about what events are taking place locally.
People were invited to celebrate a moment in local Black history at a community open house. North Star Cultural Community Center has hosted a community open house to celebrate local Black history at the Windsor Public Library's Central Branch. Author Irene Moore Davis and publisher Dan Wells of Biblioasis were on hand to discuss the book of The Long Road Continues, which seeks to inspire Windsor Essex Black community about their own history. Community members also brought old photos to be added to North Star's digital archive. They also discussed their family's history and took a tour of the local history room. Nancy Allen, organizer of the event from North Star Cultural Community Center, said people from all the community should attend this event.
And we want them to come and learn about Black history, and just as you hear in the background, we want them to come and talk to each other, share stories, so that's why we want people to come.
In 2013, North Star Cultural Community Center received $63,000 Ontario Trillium Foundation grant. The grant was used to continue telling the story of people from African descent through new books and videos. Author Irene Moore Davis was chosen to become the foundation to base the new book, The Long Road Continues, that will be more inclusive of the Caribbean population and people who have immigrated from Africa.
So this event today is an open house where we're inviting people to come and learn about the book project and how they can contribute. The book is intended to be as inclusive and comprehensive as possible, so we know that there are individuals who have great photos and family history and things of that nature that they might like to share. We're also setting up oral history interviews, so people who have great stories to tell can sit down and be interviewed as part of the process. There's a book and there's also a companion website that will be out, so we want to make sure that we're including as much information as possible, and we want to make sure that people of African descent from the Caribbean and the continent of Africa are also included.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Mariam Farag.
If your T4 came in the mail this month, don't panic. Torsia Veltazen gives you some tips on how to find help with your taxes.
Hello, I'm Torsha Feldheisen, and I'm here to help you with your taxes. It's February, and that means people will begin to receive their T4s. Here's a little information on helping you choose the right tax professional. There are two types to choose from: tax preparers and tax accountants. Tax accountants have finished a 4-year university degree, where tax preparers may not have a formal education but have gone through a tax preparation course. Some companies like H&R Block have their own accredited courses. When selecting someone, make sure to ask about the type of training and education they have received and check to make sure it is accredited by the Canadian Revenue Agency. If you have investments, rental properties, or are self-employed, ask about experience and knowledge to your particular tax situation. And finally, watch out for fees. Ask upfront to see if the fee is based on hours, if it is a flat fee, or if it is based on a percentage of your return. I'm Torsha Veldhuisen, and this has been your Money Minute.
Let's head back outside to Torsha for a look at our forecast. Torsha?
And now for your 3-day weather forecast. Windsor, Essex seems to be out of the woods for the next couple of days with temperatures hovering over 0. Wednesday's high will be +3 and mainly sunny. Temperatures climb even higher come Thursday with the high being +8. Make sure you don't forget your umbrella on your way to work though, as there is a 70% chance of showers. Temperatures drop back down below 0 come Friday at -1 with a mix of sun and clouds. That's all from me at the corner of University and Victoria. I'm Torsha Veldhuisen with MediaPlex News. Back to you, Shubhangana.
With all this cold weather, warm up with a good cup of coffee. Ryan Jones tells us some of the surprising health benefits of this hot drink.
It's safe to say coffee is one of Canada's favorite drinks. Whether it be Tim Hortons, Starbucks, or homemade, we all rely on that little pick-me-up in the morning. By all, I mean 71% of Canadians between the ages of 18 to 79, according to Coffee Association of Canada's 2017 coffee study. Whether it be black, double, or 2 milk, it all contains the same substance, caffeine. But what is a healthy cap of caffeine consumption? According to Dietitians of Canada, the healthy amount of caffeine for an adult is 400 milligrams, which equals 3 8-ounce cups of coffee, resulting to 24 ounces in total. To put this into perspective, a small Tim Hortons coffee is almost 10 ounces, a medium coffee is around 14, and a large is 19. They also caution that some people may react differently to caffeine. While some feel awake and alert, others may acquire nervousness, anxiety, insomnia, and upset stomachs. Don't let this deter you from your love of coffee, but rather educate you with the caffeinated facts. This has been Ryan Jones with your Health Minute.
The Classic Canadian Coffee Contest is back for its 32nd year. There are 36 million prizes available to be won, with 1 in 6 odds of winning a coffee or a food prize. 50 cars, 500 prizes of free coffee for a year, and 1 of 100 prepaid CIBC Visa card are also on the prize list. Roll Up the Rim is celebrated at more than 3,500 Tim Hortons across Canada. This weekend at St. Clair Centre for the Arts is one of the great pop culture event that's fun for the whole family. Alyssa Harbin has the event coordinator in the studio to get the details.
Hey, thanks for joining me tonight and for bringing everybody's favorite, Stitch. Can you tell me a little bit about Action and the event that's happening this weekend?
So Action is a one-day pop culture event that's fun for the whole family. It's kind of like a festival where there's merchants and exhibitors and artists and vendors. So you just come, bring the whole family. You can shop, play games. You can dress up in a costume. We have a cosplay contest, that kind of thing happening. Yeah.
Okay. So what makes this event this year different from the last few years you've had it?
Well, it's different because it's really just a completely new event. We changed the name. It's now called Action. We changed the focus. It is completely patron-driven. We just want to focus on all of the fun. We just want to focus on fun, and that's it.
So what was it years before then?
It was called the Comic Book Syndicon. Mm-hmm.
And this year's just more fun, more family action kind of thing?
We actually have, we rebranded to call it Action, and now we're focusing on other genres like horror and video games. Before, we tried to focus on mainly the comic book industry, and it was kind of a convention-style event, but now we're focusing on more of a sort of like a festival for pop culture, and that's it.
So you mentioned it's like a family-friendly event. Is there anything specific for like kids, like young kids you have going on?
Yeah, we have something called Drawn Together that will be hosted by 2 Toronto artists. So you can go and you can learn how to draw, and they kind of get really interactive with you. We also have sci-fi fantasy trivia with Mac Flash. So there'll be two 45-minute sessions twice in the day. We also have a lot of panels. We have face painting. We have a make your own. We have a group, like a Star Wars charity group coming from London, who are going to help you become a Jedi and make your own lightsaber. We have the Harry Potter group Owl coming from London as well. They're going to team up with the Dark Arts Defense League here in Windsor, and they're going to make bowtruckles with the kids, and those little kitten plates that you see in the office, that kind of thing. We just have a lot of like crafts, things you can do all day.
Sounds like some tough decisions to be made on which craft you're going to pursue this weekend. Jedi, dark arts, that kind of thing. So this year you're having it in the winter, and last year was the spring, and the year before that was winter. Is there a reason for switching up the seasons?
Yeah, we found that moving it to April, there's a lot of competition for the sunshine. So, and a lot of events tend to just go right for it in April. We also really just went back to our vendors and asked, what's a better time of year for you? And they all said February. They all wanted something in February, and we're going to give it back to them. We're wildly successful 2 Februarys ago, so we're just going to move it right back to Family Day.
So other than the Jedi and the Star Wars and the Harry Potter, all the things you mentioned, is there anyone special, anything we can look forward to this weekend?
Yes, if you've been watching it on the CW, the creator of Black Lightning will be at our show this year. His name is Tony Isabella. So you can meet him, you can purchase his book, and you can, he'll be on a panel called Black Lightning and Representation in the media.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with me about that. Check out their Facebook page for more details on this event. Back to you, Shubha.
The Downtown Windsor Community Collaborative serves the core of the city, providing a variety of resources to residents. March Wren reports.
Snow and frigid temperatures this past week did not stop residents from coming to the Dog Breakfast restaurant for an open house. Food, talk tables, and people were welcome to share their story, ideas, or just get to know each other. The executive director of Downtown Windsor Community Collaborative, Bob Cameron, said they just encourage people to talk about the community.
So having an opportunity for folks just to walk around, meet new folks, meet old friends, and then say, this is an area I'd like to get involved.
The Downtown Windsor Community Collaborative provides different programs to reach out to residents of all ages. From kids' activities to the downtown farmers market, they're building a network from people who live downtown. City Councilor Reynold Botland said he loved how they truly reflect people's thoughts, and that helps City Councilors work.
Because it gives us a lot of insight as to what the residents and what the neighborhoods are thinking and what the priorities are. They really empower the neighborhood and the people to get involved. They're not there just top down making decisions for people. They're there helping people advocate for themselves.
For the future plan of community, the executive director Cameron said there will be more flexible and responsive to ideas generated by residents.
So instead of us telling people what to do, how can we help folks imagine what their dreams are and help see those realized?
Bundle up! Schools in Windsor Essex are turning down the heat for World Wildlife Foundation. Reporter Ryan Jones tells us how it works.
Climate change. Though it seems invisible, it affects our everyday lives. What are we doing locally to change this? The Greater Essex County District School Board is celebrating Sweater Month, which is a month to create awareness about climate change. With thermostats being turned down by 2 degrees, faculty and students are now wearing sweaters to school.
Climate is about what takes place over time, and what we're looking at is trends. We're looking at precedent. We're looking at history. So when we think about Canadian weather and winter season, we have a sense of what we can expect over time based on what has happened in the historical record.
Scott Scantlebury is a public relations officer at the Greater Essex County District School Board and said this has been going on for 3 years.
Was a result of, in most cases, a result of the promotion done by the World Wildlife Federation, which adopted National Sweater Day as a good opportunity for people to express their concern about climate change.
Scantlebury said that future plans are in the midst as well. I am standing outside in minus 16-degree weather in honor of Sweater Day, and I am sporting a sweater myself. Will you be wearing one this month as well? For MediaPlex News, I am Ryan Jones.
We have our sports specialist joining us today for a look at our local, national and international sports. Let's head over to Kyle Rose and Cody Rusan for Sports Talk.
Thank you. My name is Cody Rusan.
And I'm Kyle Rose. Welcome to your Plex Sports Update.
Now, Kyle, the Toronto Raptors are first in the East. Pistons, they're struggling. In the NBL, there's some action going on there. Give us the downfall. Give us what's going on.
Well, you're absolutely right. The Toronto Raptors doing their thing in the Eastern Conference, #1 in the East, as you said, top of the division. They're doing their thing. The Cleveland Cavaliers, you saw just before the trade deadline, completely dismantling their roster. Everyone's going all over the place. Isaiah Thomas is now a Laker. It's just crazy. And as you said, the Detroit Pistons, they're struggling. They're 9th. Ever since Blake Griffin came in, they've had some ups, some downs. They're trying to push to make it into that 8th spot. And last night I was at the game. The New Orleans Pelicans came to town. Unfortunately, though, the Pistons did lose 118-103. It was a close game, though. So, they're just trying to build because this is the last week before the All-Star Weekend happens. And it's starting on Friday in Los Angeles with All-Star Friday night. And moving on to NBL Canada, as you said, the Windsor Express, they are too struggling. They're 12-13, looking to have a comeback. On Saturday, they took on the Niagara River Lions at home. They lost that game, close, tight game, 110-112. They go on the road to take on the Niagara River Lions in Niagara. And, they're trying to get that win as well because they're 3rd in the Western Conference and they're looking to make a bigger push. But enough about basketball for now. Cody, what's going on in the world of hockey?
Well, in the world of hockey, the Windsor Lancers, both the women and the men, had finished up their regular seasons this past week. Now, the women, unfortunately, they're not going to make the playoffs, but they did finish the season on a high note. Hopefully, this is something to look forward to. Back-to-back victories for the first time all season. They only topped 6 victories the whole year, but back-to-back was pretty big. A big victory over Waterloo on Friday night, and then they followed that up with a big victory over the Ryerson Rams with a rookie goaltender in net, and she stood on her head. She shut the door as many times as she had to, and she only let one get by. Mm-hmm. As for the men, they did, however, find their way to the playoffs. And they'll be in the playoff picture. They'll be taking on the Guelph Griffins. They finished off the season in a big way with 2 victories back-to-back off the rival, the Western Mustangs. Game 1 for that playoff series against Guelph, however, is on Thursday night. Game 2 will be played on Saturday night in Windsor. And Game 3, if necessary, will occur on Sunday. Now, I want to go back to basketball quickly. The antics of Blake Griffin, how do you think that's going to happen with the Pistons?
I think if he keeps it up, he's a hard worker. It's going to be a great season for him, trying to be an all-star again. You know what? We are out of time. I would love to answer more. But we'll be back next week. Shubhangana, back to you.
Wondering what we get up to here at the MediaPlex? On March 24th, stop by for an open house to see our newsroom and radio studio, meet faculty and students, and find out more about the programs. All St. Clair College campuses are open to check out from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Learn about student services and explore financial aid options and more. We are looking forward to seeing you in our state-of-the-art building on the corner of University and Victoria. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Shubhangana Vishwanathan and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.